On the enigmatic planet Eclipse, where three suns bathe the land in endless twilight, humanity's greed for rare minerals awakens something ancient and dangerous. As miners delve deeper into the planet's crust, they uncover a colossal alien ship buried beneath the surface, guarded by spectral beings who will stop at nothing to protect it. Now, a team of scientists and engineers must decide: abandon their mission or risk unleashing forces beyond comprehension. The fate of interstellar travel, and perhaps all life, hangs in the balance. Subscribe now to unravel the mysteries hidden under Eclipse's eternal dusk. Eclipse was unlike any world humanity had ever encountered. Its skies were painted in perpetual shades of crimson and indigo, thanks to the gravitational dance of three suns that never allowed true night or day. Beneath this surreal canopy lay deposits of lumina crystals, rare minerals capable of revolutionizing faster than light travel. It was these crystals that lured colonists to establish Outpost Solace, a sprawling mining settlement carved into the rocky terrain. At first, everything seemed promising. The initial extraction efforts yielded rich rewards, fueling dreams of technological breakthroughs and galactic expansion. But soon, unsettling incidents began to occur. Workers reported seeing strange, flickering shapes near the deepest shafts, translucent entities that shimmered like heat waves but moved with purpose. At first dismissed as optical illusions caused by the peculiar lighting, these apparitions grew bolder, appearing closer to the surface and disrupting operations. Then came the attacks. Without warning, entire teams vanished during shifts far below ground. Equipment malfunctioned inexplicably, and survivors spoke of being chased by ethereal forms that emitted haunting, melodic hums. Panic spread through the outpost as rumors circulated about the Guardians, mysterious beings determined to keep intruders away from the planet's core. Dr. Alara Quinn, the colony's lead xenobiologist, found herself at the center of the crisis. Tasked with understanding the nature of these entities, she faced mounting pressure from both frightened workers and impatient corporate overseers demanding answers and results. This isn't just superstition, Alara insisted during a heated meeting with the outpost's director, Commander Victor Hale. There's intelligence behind these phenomena. We're not dealing with random anomalies. Victor leaned back in his chair, arms crossed. Whether they're intelligent or not doesn't change our situation. If we don't meet quota, the funding dries up. Simple as that. Alara clenched her fists but held her tongue. She knew he wouldn't listen. Not until it was too late. The attacks escalated, forcing the outpost to implement strict safety protocols. Mining crews were limited to shallow excavations, and automated drones replaced human workers in the most hazardous areas. Yet even these precautions failed to deter the Guardians, whose presence became increasingly aggressive. One evening, after yet another incident, a drone crushed by what appeared to be invisible hands, Alara joined a small investigative team led by engineer Marcus Lynn. They ventured into one of the abandoned shafts, equipped with advanced sensors designed to detect anomalous energy signatures. What they discovered defied explanation. "These readings, they're off the charts," Marcus muttered, staring at his scanner. "It's like there's some kind of massive power source buried kilometers below us." Alara knelt beside him, studying the data. "And whatever it is, it's connected to those entities. Look, they only appear when we dig too close to this area." As they descended further, the air grew colder, tinged with an electric charge that made their hair stand on end. Suddenly, the lights flickered, plunging them into near darkness. From the shadows emerged one of the Guardians, its form shifting like liquid light. Unlike previous encounters, this time it didn't attack. It simply hovered, emitting a low-frequency vibration that resonated through their bones. "It's trying to communicate," Alara whispered, awestruck. "Or warn us," Marcus replied grimly. Before they could investigate further, the entity vanished as abruptly as it had appeared, leaving behind a faint trail of luminescent particles. Back at the outpost, Alara shared her findings with Dr. Elias Voss, the station's chief astrophysicist. Together, they pieced together fragments of evidence suggesting that the planet itself might harbor remnants of an ancient civilization. The energy patterns match descriptions of megastructures built by long-extinct species, Elias explained, pulling up holographic projections. If I'm right, we're standing on top of something monumental. But why would they bury it so deep? Alara asked. To protect it, or themselves, Elias said cryptically. Word of the discovery reached Commander Hale, who convened an emergency council to discuss next steps. Gathered in the briefing room were key personnel: Alara, Elias, Marcus, Security Chief Lieutenant Riya Patel, and geologist Dr. Priya Nair. Each brought unique insights, shaping the debate that followed. We can't ignore this, Elias argued passionately. This could be the greatest archaeological find in human history. And if it kills us before we finish digging? Riya countered sharply. We've already lost too many people. Priya nodded in agreement. Not to mention the structural risks. Digging deeper destabilizes the crust. One wrong move, and the whole outpost collapses. Commander Hale listened intently, weighing the arguments. Finally, he spoke. Our primary objective remains unchanged: extract lumina crystals. But I'll authorize limited exploration of this anomaly. Dr. Quinn, you'll lead the effort. Report back with actionable intel within 48 hours. Alara accepted the assignment reluctantly, knowing the stakes. With a hand-picked team, she prepared for a deeper descent, one that would take them closer to the heart of Eclipse's mysteries than anyone had dared go before. The expedition into the lower levels revealed wonders and terrors alike. Walls glimmered with veins of crystalline material, pulsating faintly as though alive. Strange symbols etched into the rock suggested deliberate construction rather than natural formation. It's artificial, Priya confirmed, running scans. These aren't geological formations, they're engineering. As they progressed, the Guardians grew more numerous, their movements synchronized as if guided by a single consciousness. They no longer attacked outright, but instead created barriers of shimmering energy, blocking certain paths while allowing access to others. They're leading us somewhere, Alara realized aloud. Her hunch proved correct. After navigating a series of labyrinthine tunnels, the team emerged into a vast cavern illuminated by soft, golden light. At its center stood a monolithic structure, a fragment of the colossal ship hinted at earlier. Its surface was smooth and metallic, adorned with intricate carvings that seemed to shift when viewed directly. This is it, Elias breathed, awestruck. A piece of their technology. But as they approached, the ground trembled violently. From the shadows rose a towering guardian, larger and more radiant than any they'd encountered. Its voice boomed telepathically, reverberating through their minds. You trespass upon sacred ground. Leave now, or face oblivion. The warning sent shockwaves through the team. For the first time, they had undeniable proof of intelligence, not just instinctive defense mechanisms, but deliberate communication. What do we do? Marcus asked, gripping his scanner tightly. Alara stepped forward cautiously, raising her hands in a gesture of peace. We mean no harm. We seek knowledge, to understand your world and ours. The Guardian paused, its form flickering uncertainly. Then, unexpectedly, it lowered itself slightly, as if bowing. Knowledge comes at a price. Prove yourselves worthy or perish. With that, it dissolved into motes of light, leaving behind a narrow passageway leading deeper into the cavern. Alara turned to her team. We have no choice. Let's keep going. The passage opened into a chamber filled with floating orbs of light, each containing holographic projections depicting scenes from an ancient civilization. Through careful observation, the team deciphered fragments of the narrative, a race known as the Solarii, who had mastered stellar manipulation and constructed the ship as a vessel to harness solar energy. However, their experiments destabilized their star system, forcing them to entomb the ship beneath Eclipse to prevent catastrophe. The Solarii sacrificed their future to save the galaxy, Elias murmured, piecing together the implications. And now we're disturbing their legacy. The decision to document rather than excavate came with its own set of challenges. Portable scanners and drones were limited in their capabilities, especially when faced with the intricate alien technology embedded deep within the Solarii ship. The team worked tirelessly, mapping out sections of the vessel's exposed structure while avoiding areas that seemed to pulse with volatile energy. Alara took the lead in deciphering the holographic projections left by the Solarii. Each orb contained fragments of their history, visions of cities powered by starlight, vast fleets traversing galaxies, and ultimately, the cataclysmic event that forced them to bury their greatest achievement beneath Eclipse. They weren't just explorers, Alara explained during one late-night analysis session. They were cosmic engineers, reshaping stars to sustain life. But their hubris led to their downfall. Elias nodded grimly. And now we're standing on the edge of repeating their mistakes. As they pieced together more of the narrative, it became clear that the Guardians weren't merely protectors. They were remnants of the Solarii themselves, their consciousness uploaded into energy forms to safeguard the ship indefinitely. This revelation added weight to the earlier warning. Proving themselves worthy wasn't just a test of morality, but an acknowledgement of responsibility. Meanwhile, tensions flared back at Outpost Solace. Corporate overseers, frustrated by the lack of tangible results, demanded immediate resumption of full-scale mining operations. Commander Hale found himself caught between maintaining order and appeasing his superiors, who threatened to cut funding entirely if quotas weren't met. "We can't afford to wait for your team to finish playing archaeologist," barked Director Clara Voss, a ruthless executive sent from headquarters. "Either you deliver results, or we find someone who will." Hale clenched his jaw but knew he couldn't stall much longer. He ordered increased surveillance of the excavation site, hoping to buy Alara's team more time without outright defiance. Back in the cavern, the sense of urgency grew palpable. Every tremor in the ground reminded the team of the fragility of their situation. One wrong move could awaken the ship, or worse, destabilize the planet's core. Yet amidst the danger, moments of awe punctuated their work. Marcus, ever the pragmatist, voiced concerns about the practicality of their mission. "Even if we gather all this data, there's no guarantee anyone back home will listen. They'll see it as delaying the inevitable. That's why we need to make sure our findings are irrefutable," Alara countered. "If we present undeniable evidence of what lies beneath Eclipse, maybe, just maybe, we can convince them to tread carefully." Her optimism was infectious, inspiring the team to push harder despite dwindling supplies and mounting fatigue. Priya focused on analyzing the crystalline material lining the walls, discovering properties far beyond those of lumina crystals mined closer to the surface. "These aren't naturally occurring," she marveled, holding up a shard that shimmered with prismatic light. "They're engineered conduits, designed to channel solar energy directly into the ship's systems." The implications were staggering. If humanity could replicate even a fraction of the Solarii's technology, it would revolutionize not only space travel but every aspect of modern civilization. But such advancements came with risks, the same risks that had driven the Solarii to self-impose exile beneath Eclipse. As days turned into weeks, the team uncovered another layer of complexity. The ship wasn't dormant, it was hibernating. Subtle fluctuations in energy readings suggested that parts of its system remained active, albeit at minimal levels. "This thing is alive," Elias whispered, staring at a console covered in alien script. "Not sentient, necessarily, but aware enough to maintain itself over millennia." Their breakthrough came when Alara managed to interface one of their portable scanners with a control panel. The resulting cascade of data nearly overwhelmed their equipment, but they managed to isolate key sequences related to the ship's primary function, harnessing stellar radiation to power interstellar propulsion. "It's like a living engine," Marcus said, reviewing the schematics. "Every component serves a purpose, working in perfect harmony." But alongside this discovery came a sobering realization. Activating the ship, even partially, would require drawing energy from the three suns above. Such an act could disrupt the delicate gravitational balance, keeping Eclipse stable, potentially triggering catastrophic consequences for the planet and any nearby systems. "We're playing with forces we barely understand," Rhea warned during a debriefing. "One misstep, and we could tear this world apart. Alara agreed, though reluctantly. Then we focus on gathering what we can safely. No experiments, no shortcuts. News of their progress reached Outpost Solace, sparking heated debates among the colonists. Some sided with Alara's cautious approach, believing that understanding the Solarii's legacy was worth the delay. Others, desperate for a return to profitability, argued that the Guardians' warnings were mere superstition meant to intimidate. Among the dissenters was Dr. Arvid Kane, a geologist whose ambition rivaled his recklessness. Convinced that the true value of Eclipse lay not in knowledge but in resources, he began organizing unauthorized expeditions into restricted zones. Armed with crude tools and blind determination, his teams pushed deeper into the caverns, ignoring the increasingly aggressive behavior of the Guardians. "You think those ghosts are going to stop us?" Kane sneered during a confrontation with Alara. "We've faced worse odds before. Humanity doesn't survive by playing it safe." His words struck a nerve, resonating with those who felt abandoned by corporate interests and betrayed by the slow pace of scientific inquiry. Despite Alara's pleas for restraint, Kane's influence spread, fracturing morale within the outpost. Commander Hale intervened, ordering increased patrols around the excavation sites. But even he couldn't stem the tide of rebellion brewing among the miners. Kane's reckless actions culminated in disaster. During one ill-fated expedition, his team breached a critical barrier surrounding the ship's core chamber. The resulting backlash unleashed a wave of energy that sent tremors rippling across the planet. Back at the outpost, alarms blared as seismic activity escalated dangerously. Alara and her team raced to contain the damage, navigating collapsing tunnels and fending off enraged Guardians. When they finally reached the breach, they found Kane unconscious amid shattered equipment, his face pale with shock. "What have you done?" Alara demanded, hauling him to his feet. I didn't mean to," Kane stammered, his bravado replaced by fear. Before they could retreat, the ground split open, revealing a chasm filled with swirling golden light. From the depths emerged a colossal figure, a guardian unlike any they'd encountered before. Its form radiated raw power, its voice booming with authority. "You have awakened the heart of the Solarii," it intoned. "Choose wisely, for the fate of many rests upon your decision." With that, the entity vanished, leaving behind a pulsating portal leading directly into the ship's core. The appearance of the portal marked a turning point. Whatever lay beyond it held the answers they sought, but also the potential to unleash untold destruction. Alara convened an emergency meeting with her team, weighing the options. "We can't ignore this opportunity," Elias argued. "This is our chance to unlock the secrets of the Solarii once and for all." "But at what cost?" Rhea countered. "We've already seen what happens when we meddle too deeply. Are we prepared to risk everything?" Alara hesitated, torn between curiosity and caution. Finally, she made her decision. "We go inside, but only to observe. No tampering, no experiments. If we sense even the slightest hint of instability, we pull out immediately." Equipped with reinforced suits and enhanced sensors, the team stepped through the portal, emerging into a breathtaking chamber bathed in radiant light. At its center floated a massive crystalline construct, humming softly as streams of energy coursed through its lattice-like structure. "This is it," Priya breathed, "the heart of the ship." Exploring the core chamber revealed wonders beyond imagination. The crystalline construct served as both power source and neural nexus, capable of interfacing with organic minds. As they approached, faint images flickered within the crystal, visions of distant galaxies, ancient civilizations, and advanced technologies far beyond human comprehension. Alara extended a hand cautiously, feeling a gentle warmth emanating from the construct. Suddenly, a flood of information surged into her mind, overwhelming yet exhilarating. She glimpsed the Solarii's final moments, their desperate attempts to stabilize their dying star system, their ultimate sacrifice to preserve cosmic equilibrium. "They didn't abandon this place," she murmured, tears streaming down her face. "They entrusted it to the Guardians, knowing future generations might learn from their mistakes." Her connection to the construct triggered a response. The chamber brightened, bathing them in a serene glow. A voice echoed telepathically, calm yet commanding. Prove yourselves stewards of balance, and the path forward shall be revealed. Emerging from the core chamber, the team carried with them not just data, but a renewed sense of purpose. They presented their findings to Commander Hale, urging him to halt all mining operations permanently. Eclipse isn't just a resource, Alara declared. It's a monument to the Solarii's legacy, a reminder of what happens when we prioritize greed over wisdom. Though skeptical, Hale recognized the gravity of their discoveries. With corporate overseers breathing down his neck, he authorized a temporary suspension of excavation efforts, citing safety concerns and promising further investigation. Word of the Solarii's existence spread quickly, igniting debates across the colony. Some embraced the call for restraint, inspired by the tale of a civilization that had sacrificed itself for the greater good. Others dismissed it as sentimentality, arguing that humanity's survival depended on technological advancement, not moral posturing. Amidst the turmoil, Alara and her team continued documenting the ship's design, sharing their insights with scientists worldwide. Their work sparked a global conversation about the ethical responsibilities of exploration and innovation. Months later, Outpost Solace transformed into a research hub dedicated to studying the Solarii's technology responsibly. Mining operations ceased entirely, replaced by collaborative efforts between xenobiologists, astrophysicists, and ethicists. The Guardians, now understood as benevolent custodians, permitted limited access to the ship under strict conditions. For Alara, the experience redefined her understanding of progress. True advancement wasn't measured solely by technological prowess, but by the wisdom to wield it responsibly. As she stood gazing at the perpetual twilight skies of Eclipse, she reflected on the journey that had brought them here. Humanity still faced countless challenges, but for the first time in years, she felt hopeful. Years passed, and Eclipse became synonymous with preservation and enlightenment. Its lessons shaped policies governing interstellar exploration, ensuring that humanity approached the cosmos with humility rather than hubris. For those who had witnessed the Solarii's legacy firsthand, the memories lingered, a testament to the enduring impact of choices made in the shadow of eternity. If you enjoyed this epic tale of discovery, sacrifice, and the boundless mysteries of the cosmos, consider subscribing for more thrilling adventures spanning the stars. Thank you for joining us on this unforgettable journey through science fiction's limitless realms. Subscribe now and embark on your next great odyssey.